All right, good morning, good peoples. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hopefully, either y'all got the notification or either y'all got what I shared to y'all to come through. Cause I don't know what YouTube doing. They just messing up every damn thing, and a lot of y'all ain't getting there by notification like y'all usually do. So, um, I've been sitting here for the past 30, 40 minutes just trying to share it out all over the place, and I don't know, and I can tell when it's not working because if I have the show set up and when it hit the 30-minute mark, if I don't see the likes start going up or the views waiting, I know that it's not working. Okay, so and it's been doing this lately now, so I don't know what the fuck going on. So I had to sit here literally by myself and just share all this shit out to y'all. And y'all just don't know how fucking frustrating it is. Nothing against y'all, because y'all ain't got nothing to do with it. But still, to have to sit here, set this stuff up, then gotta share it out yourself to everybody who you could think of, which is a lot of people. You can't think about everybody, but to think about everybody who you could think of, and I hope that they got it. If they didn't get it, hopefully they look on the community wall and see it, or however the hell it goes, because YouTube sucks in the notification department. They really do suck. Okay? I'm an hour behind you, C. Denise. I'm an hour behind you. It's 1:19 here. It's one. Oh, Casey, where you been, babe? Long time. Long time. Yeah, it's 1:19 here, so you're an hour ahead of me. It's 1:19 here. So I guess I ain't gotta ask y'all can hear me because it look like you're already responding that y'all can hear me. Okay. I see my brother Ron in the middle. What's up, my brother? My day one. Love you, brother. My day one. It's always a pleasure to see my day ones in here. Larissa, what's going on? Sarah Replay Queen. Kara Smith. I appreciate everything that you do, dear. It's amazing how you run across them many stories and you able to send it to me. That's a lot of damn stories. And a lot of y'all do. Quite a few of y'all do come across this stuff and send it to me. So wow. It's just a lot of foolery going on, man. It's the how y'all say it, the devil is working or it work, however y'all say that shit. The devil's at work, the devil's working, however y'all say that, but something going on here. Something's really going on here. But anyway, guys, but since y'all say y'all can hear me, then you know what? Ain't no point in just holding it up. Let's get right into it. And if y'all haven't, please hit that thumbs up for your boy. All right, guys, here we go. A lot of times on my program, y'all hear me speak on what, let me not say I speak on a lot of times, but I speak on it periodically. And what we talking about is domestic violence. Now, here's my thing. I don't condone it, and I'm not going to egg it on. My thing about something close to that is defending yourself. Meaning, if somebody keep fucking with you, you have the right to defend yourself. Whether it's a woman against a man or a man against a woman. I know a lot of women always say that men ain't supposed to hit a woman. I'm like this. I beg to differ. Now, if they just hitting y'all because they can do it, that's something totally different. I can understand that aspect of it. But when the man is trying to walk away and say, hey, leave me alone, man, and you come and provoking him and hitting on him and stuff, I feel he has the right to defend himself. Okay? Self-defense. Leave people alone. If they say leave them alone and they walk away, leave them alone. Let them walk away. Let them cool their pot lid. Once y'all cool y'all pot lid, then maybe y'all can have a conversation. But long as everybody's emotions is running high, things happen that don't intend to happen. Which the main thing is getting physical. Okay? The main thing is getting physical. And again, I don't recommend that to anybody getting into domestic situations, but you know, this shit just happens. It does. But defending yourself, I think that's a whole total topic. Now, with that out of the way, that's what we're dealing with this story right here that quite a few of you has sent me. We have a lady and her daughter here that was missing out of Washington. I trying to find out how long they've been missing. Curl, maybe you can help me with this. Because there is so much put out on this story, I can't catch everything. I put their names in. It's so much stuff that's popping up about this too. I'm like, I don't even know where to start at. I don't know where to start at. But the meat and potatoes of it is, they was missing. Their bodies was found. The ex-boyfriend is the suspect. The interest that he's behind bars for their deaths. All right? And if I'm not mistaken, if I read it correctly, this man was out on bond for murdering somebody back in 2017, I believe. I might get the year wrong. He already was out on bond for murdering somebody. Then on top of that, he was out on bond and did not have an ankle bracelet on. They didn't put in the court screen and had it on, which gave him pretty much the freeway to go find this woman and her daughter and allegedly killed them. If it's those y'all who probably say, oh my God, that is what happened. He was already out on bond for murder of somebody. And he was out on bond because something about some money, somebody wanted some money from him. And he claimed he didn't want to give him the money. And I guess he thought the best thing was to kill this person. That's why he was in jail in the first place for. But he got out of bond. He got out on bond. Okay? So, that's me. And this man is from Arkansas. If I'm reading this right, he's from Arkansas. And Arkansas is not far from me, it's across the bridge. His name is Kirkland Warren. That's his name. The girl and her daughter, the girl name is Meshay Melendez. I think I said that right. Her daughter name is Layla. I don't remember what Layla's last name is, but her daughter name is Layla, and Layla was 7 years old. Layla Stewart, that's her name, Layla Stewart. She was 7 years old. What's crazy is her friend that was watching the daughter seen the mother not in the right state of mind and pants half down and did report it ASAP and still let the child go. Wow. How about that? How about that? So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the story of Layla Stewart, which is 7 years old, and her mother, Meshay Melendez, and the man who's behind it all, Kirkland Warren. Now, the videos I'm going to play for y'all, they not in no particular order, so we're just going to hear them as we go, and I apologize for that, but again, like I said, if you put them up, so much stuff is going to come up that you don't even know where to start from. So much stuff is going to come up, you know. But anyway, this video is saying that domestic violence experts says the legal system doesn't understand the danger of these sort of cases, which it sounds like to me they don't, okay? Because you let these motherfuckers go, and it's like pretty much.
Well, we're taking on a tough topic this Friday after the bodies of events.
It's just a piece of paper to them saying, you know, this is a piece of paper. I'm still going to do what I got to do. I mean, excuse me, not what I got to do, but I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. You know, it's like they don't take more measurements to keep assholes like him away from people who's in these situations. But don't let me talk. I'm going to let y'all hear it.
Vancouver mother and her 7-year-old daughter missing for 10 days. were found this week. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm David Molko. There have been no arrests, but police are calling Meshay Melendez's boyfriend a person of interest in their disappearance, and court documents point to a history of alleged domestic violence. Let's bring in Alma McCarty now in the newsroom. Alma, you talked to an expert about this case and also about how folks can support loved ones who also might be suffering.
David, Melendez's boyfriend, Kirkland Warren, was arrested earlier this month, accused of assaulting Meshay, harassing her, and shooting up her apartment in December. He's also charged with violating a no-contact order. Court documents had him listed as an extreme risk to her, yet he was able to bail.
And see, ladies, this is what I be saying right here, and I know some of y'all don't want to hear this, and when I preached about this a while back, had a couple people say, I like how people try to make it seem like it's so easy to lead a person this, then, the third. Well, I don't know if it's easy or not. I'm not a woman. I don't know if it's easy or not. But when you hear stuff to this extreme that a man is doing to you, not only that, and your daughter is seeing all of this, I would like to think for the safety of your daughter, you would want to get away from somebody like that, because if he's going that far with you, how it always goes, if he can't get to you, who is he going to go after next? The one thing that you love the most, your kids, your child, or your children. That's what he's going to go after. So when I hear stuff like this to this extreme, sometimes it just kind of makes me mad, because I'm like, why stay if this person comes doing the same thing? Okay, how many times can you apologize? Can somebody apologize to you, but still turn around and come doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again? But again, I'm not a female. I don't know. But that shit is scary that somebody can stay in something like that, and knowing, how would you know the next time would be the last time? Meaning he's going to kill you. I don't get it, man. I don't.
Out.
The trouble is when we have a legal system with district attorneys and judges, they are horribly undertrained in domestic violence. They know laws, but they don't know a perpetrator, they don't know the characteristics of a perpetrator, and they don't know what they do to a victim.
Dr. Kathy Mathis is a doctor of clinical psychology and a national domestic violence expert with 37 years in the field. After the disappearance and death of 27-year-old Meshay Melendez and her young daughter, Layla, she looked into the background of Meshay's boyfriend, Kirkland Warren. At this point, he's only considered a person of interest in their disappearance.
You have judges that let him out, should never have let him out. You have a district attorney who gave him bail. Why would you give somebody bail who has this kind of a history?
KGW reached out to Clark County officials to find out why GPS monitoring wasn't requested for Warren, given the alleged criminal history of domestic abuse. The prosecuting attorney's office responded with no comment, citing an open investigation.
You have a perpetrator who has shown you who they are, believe them, because they're not going to change.
Dr. Mathis explained it can take many tries for people.
And I've been preaching that for the longest. Nobody can make nobody change. I mean, same thing when I said about the stories about these, the last couple of stories that I did. Man, you can't make nobody change. You can sit up here and do everything in the book for that person to try to make them change. They're not going to do it. Even having a child, they're not going to change unless they want to change. If they're not ready to change, you can't force them to change. You can't. You can beg and plead. You can get on your knees or work your fingers to the bone and try to show somebody that knows you love and care about them. If they don't feel the same or they don't show the same in return, you cannot force it. You can't. And if it's a possibility that you can force it, you will never be happy because you had to force it. It's not real because you had to force them to do it. And they got to force themselves to do it. Nobody's going to be happy when they have to force themselves to do something that they don't want to do because they don't want to do it.
Caught in cycles of domestic abuse to leave a partner. Seeking out help from a resource center or shelter is also difficult to do.
And there are services there. I mean, they get food, they get clothing, they get opportunities for healing and for, rebuilding their life. But a lot of them say, this is my home. I'm here. I don't want to leave it because I've done nothing wrong. And that really is part of the reason, along with the bonding, that people stay in the relationships. And then you add the threats to, I'll kill you if you leave.
For concerned family and friends, she recommends looking out for signs of controlling or verbally abusive behavior and isolation. For those in a potentially dangerous situation, Dr. Mathis offers this advice.
Get out, get to safety, get help, and make that person that's lying to you prove they've changed. It's not what they say that you listen to, it's what they do.
On Sunday, there will be a community vigil at 11 a.m. in Esther Short Park to honor the lives of Meshay and Layla. Again, Warren still remains a person of interest in this case. He has not been formally charged. He is facing an unrelated murder charge for a 2018 case out of Arkansas. David?
Thank you, Alma. Appreciate this follow-up tonight. If you or someone you know might be a victim of domestic violence, know that you are not alone. There is a 24/7 national crisis hotline to help connect people to resources and to provide emotional support. You can call or text the number on your screen anytime. It is 800-799-7233.
All right. I like what she said at the end. And I'm going to add this to what she said. And I've said this before. Ladies or gentlemen, but mainly ladies, because they the ones who may even come out with the story about them being violated. Us men, we do it, we get it too, but we just don't talk about it. So I guess this message would be mainly for the ladies. Ladies, when you do get away, stop going to places where he can find you. Meaning family members, because when y'all together, y'all get them close to your family members. Start going to your family member's house. I would recommend somebody that he don't know nothing about. Somebody that you never just really told him about. You may mention about this person every now and again, but he never paid attention to it. Go to that place. Won't be so easy to find you. But as long as you go in a family member's house and things like that, to me, he's going to find you because you have introduced him to these particular family members. So that's going to be the first place that he go. That's going to be the first place that he call. It's them. So I would recommend, like she said, to me, a safety place would be a place that you never really told him about or her about, where it's going to make it difficult for him to find you. Now, unless he just got a track on your phone, then that's a whole different story. Now, I don't know how they work unless you just turn your phone off. I guess he can't track you then, but now you got a track on your phone, then no matter where you go, he's going to find you. So, but again, just from an advice standpoint, I would recommend you going to somebody that you never talked to him about, and if you do fear that he has a tracking device on your phone, I guess cut it off and go get you a burner phone so you're able to get that phone checked out to see if he or she has a track on it where they can't find you, So there are ways, but again, I can't really just speak on this subject because I've never been in this situation before. So I just can't say yay or nay or this, then, and third. I can only say that would be my advice, or there would probably be something I would do if I had a crazy, nutty ass woman doing that to me. I would go to a place that I never told her about. I would go to a friend's house that I never told her about, where the motherfucker can't find me. And if I do feel like she got a track on my phone, that motherfucker gonna be off. And give me a burner phone and until I get somebody to check that phone out, see if it is something tracking me on there or app or whatever that these folks are using nowadays to keep finding folks and getting a hold to them. That would be me. But other than that, though, anybody who's in that situation or let me just say somebody who haven't been in this situation, and just so how you probably get in this situation, maybe you could take heed to what I'm saying and say, okay, then, yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Go somewhere where I know it's going to be kind of hard for him to find me because I never told them about this person or persons, you know. So that was my thing to say about that. So I'm glad she said that at the end. But at the end of the day, for those of you who are going through this or have been through this, my heart goes out to you. I know quite a few of you have came to my show before and said you are survivors of domestic violence. And whatever gave you the strength to get out of that situation, I salute you. I really do salute you that you got out of that situation, all right? You said tell your employer you would be all because you're having a domestic conflict with just oh yeah, that too, bro. That too. Yeah, I would do that too. That too. Okay? So, you know, it's wild, man. Shit wild. Where I wanna go to next. Okay, let me go to this one because this video is supposed to explain why GPS monitor wasn't in place. So let's hear about this.
Are wondering why the court didn't order GPS monitoring for Kirkland Warren after his arrest for shooting up Melendez's apartment. This type of monitoring is allowed under a Washington law called the Tiffany Hill Act. It aims to protect survivors of domestic violence, and we have covered that extensively here at KGW. It was signed into law back in 2020 and named after a Vancouver mother named Tiffany Hill. She was murdered by her estranged abusive husband in 2019. The law allows courts to order people accused of domestic violence to wear GPS ankle devices. Those can be monitored by officials and then linked to an app on the victim's phone, alerting them when the offender is nearby. So when Kirkland Warren's case, when he appeared in Clark County Court in early March, well, he was ordered not to have contact with Melendez, and prosecutors determined that he posed extreme risk to her. In fact, a risk assessment found that Warren scored 31 on a scale of 1 to 18 for danger. But Clark County prosecutors did not ask for Warren to have that electronic monitoring. Did not.
You know what? And see, this is why a story like these hurt me the most, because I looked at that pretty baby face right there, and when I did wanted a child, that's what I wanted. I wanted me a little girl. I wanted me one at one point in time so bad, which y'all expensive, but y'all women are so expensive. When y'all young like this, y'all so expensive, but I guarantee you that baby gonna have everything that she wanted though. But I look at a pretty face like this and just say, you know, how could you? And then man, that shit hurts when I see that. You know what I'm saying? Innocent 7-year-old child get caught up in this bullshit that she didn't ask to get caught up in. And I'm not playing no blame game. I'm not saying it's the mama fault or things like that, which some people probably gonna say that it probably was the mama fault because she kept fucking with him. And I gotta say this too. If people do say that, I mean, I would have to agree in a sense. I do. I would have to agree to that. I do. I mean, because there's no real way to fight that. You know, she kept fucking with him while he was doing this to her, knowing the anger could have turned towards her child. So that would be a fair argument, in my opinion. That'd be a fair argument. But still, to see a pretty face like this, innocent, young, only got to live on this earth for 7 years, and you got a bitch ass nigga like this doing shit like this to children, all because what it seemed like probably finally this woman probably having some kind of encouragement to leave your dumb ass alone. But for some reason, a lot of us men, we would get rejected, our egos get hit, and this the best thing that we need to do is whoop somebody's ass because our ego is hurt. Okay? Because that's all this really is ego. It's ego. I'm used to getting what I want. The minute you tell me I can't have it, my outrage is coming out. That's what it is when it comes to a lot of these relationships. Same thing when a woman doing it to a guy. We heard a lot of stories that a woman done killed the guy over jealousy, envy, and shit like that. And if she ain't the one who did it, she's the one that had it set up. We had quite a few stories down here in Memphis like that. Woman had men set up because the dude didn't want to fuck with her no more. And it's the old saying goes, if I can't have you, nobody can. So everybody who get caught up in the whirlwind is going to get hurt. And it's sad that this precious baby right here got caught up in that bullshit, man. And this nigga was already out on bond for killing somebody.
Ask for Warren to have that electronic monitoring pending any trial. And the court? Well, the court chose not to order it either. Instead, Warren was granted bail and then was released. Days later, Meshay Melendez and her 8-year-old daughter Layla disappeared. This is a scenario that domestic violence advocates say happens too often and something that must change.
Why isn't electronic monitoring being used consistently? I think that that's a really important question that we need to answer. We need to understand the barriers to figure out how we can make sure that this is a system that works for survivors in our communities.
So we wanted to find out why the Clark County Prosecuting Attorney's Office didn't request this GPS monitoring for Warren back on his appearance in early March, despite the fact he presented an extreme danger to his girlfriend, Meshay Melendez. We contacted the office several times and no one has responded to us. We'll keep you posted on if we do hear anything. If you or somebody you know is experiencing domestic violence, just know that there is help. Take a look at your screen. You can call or text the National Domestic Violence Hotline. That number is 1-800-799-7233.
You know, I find that ironic all the time that when they say they reach out to people to try to get answers as to why this happened, they can't never get nobody. Of course you're not going to get nobody because really, how can you explain that? What can you say as to the reason why this man did not have an ankle monitor on? What can you say? So I look at it something like this. They got to get their story straight, okay? We got to find out what we got to tell them, you know what I'm saying? So it won't make it look so bad. So it don't make it seem like that we dropped the ball too bad. But in actuality, if you look at it, you dropped the ball bad regardless. I mean, come on, man. This dude was already in jail for killing somebody because somebody asked him for some money. And what we heard in the video I played earlier, he's been in trouble a couple of times for assaulting this woman. So what answer can you give as to the reason why he didn't have on a GPS monitor? What excuse can you give? So, of course, you're not going to get anybody because how can they explain that? And you mean to tell me all these stories that I heard that dealing with domestic violence, when y'all let these motherfuckers go, they still say, fuck what the paper says. I'm still finna go do this. Did a story not too long ago where another guy did this. He got out of jail, found the lady taking her children to the school, rammed her car, and went in there and shot that woman. I forgot what her name, I forgot what his name is. It's the one that the lady put on social media, or somebody put on social media where the dude beat the holy hell out that woman. And she wasn't doing nothing. He beat the hell out that woman. And to the point she had to start wearing a bulletproof vest. And if I remember the story correctly, that day she was leaving, she put on that bulletproof vest. But sadly, it wasn't enough. On her way to take the children to school, he caught up with her and he killed her. And he was supposed to not be around her. So y'all can put that shit on paper all y'all want to. When it comes to people like them, that's all they gonna look at it as. This just a piece of paper, I wipe my ass with it. You ain't talking about shit. Again, ego hurt, it's revenge. If I can't have you, nobody else can. So again, I say, how can you explain that? The reason why this man was out and did not have an ankle monitor, which is another death that could have been prevented if y'all had the ankle monitor on and y'all could have been monitoring his mood. Now I heard some of these people are such con artists that they know how to manipulate them things that they can take them off, and it will still make it like they in the area they supposed to be in. Again, guys, I don't know. I'm not the sharper knife in the bunch to know how this shit works because I've never been in trouble. I don't know how this shit works. But even with that, though, you would think y'all come up with some kind of advancement in these technologies where can help y'all better keep people like this away from other people so they won't get hurt. or better yet, keep him behind bars. Now somebody say how he got bail on the murder. I don't know. I don't know. But he got bail. That's why he was out. Curry, you say you didn't hear about this part? Well, like I said, I typed this. That's why I told you, Curry, when you type this story in, it's so much that's come up, you don't know where to start from. It's so much shit that's coming up about this story. You don't know where to start. You don't know where to start. All that you probably do is just read and kind of get a clue where to start from. But in that though, if you type in Meshay Melendez and Layla Stewart, it's so much stuff gonna pop up. You don't know where to start from. And honestly, they're showing you how bad shit like this is getting out here now. This how bad it's getting. You don't know where to start from, or unless they put out the timeline, which I think they have, over all this stuff had taken place. But if you're new to this story and you're trying to report on it, you just don't know where to start from. Unless you got somebody who follows you, unless you got somebody who follow you and they've been watching this story from the beginning, yeah, they probably can tell you everything that went on. But if you just coming in, somebody tell you about it and you doing your research, so much shit is coming up about this story, I don't know where to start. That's why these videos, they're going to be all over the place. Because I don't know where to start from.
Tonight, we are also staying on top of a tragic story out of Southwest Washington. Authorities say 2 bodies found in Washougal are likely those of a missing Vancouver mother and her daughter.
So as police work on this investigation, trying to figure out what happened, those closest say they're waiting on justice and answers. Going beyond the headlines, our Joelle Jones joins us live tonight with what friends are asking of law enforcement. Joelle?
Well, Jeff, Meshay's friends tell us they are still devastated by this news, but they say their sadness is turning to anger, and now they want swift action and accountability.
No, this is not right. That's sick. It's disgusting.
I'm outraged at this point.
Close friends of Meshay Melendez and her 8-year-old daughter Layla Stewart say their sadness has now turned to anger as they wait for more answers. Friends since childhood, we caught up with Ari, Kaylee, and Michaela just one day after the Clark County Sheriff's Office announced 2 bodies found in an embankment in Washougal yesterday are likely those of the missing Vancouver mother and daughter.
Mr. Warren, apparently you're here because it's alleged that Jefferson County, Arkansas wants you to be extradited there to stand charges of murder, it looks like.
Police say the mother's ex-boyfriend, 28-year-old Kirkland Warren, is considered a person of interest in their disappearance. We also learned he is wanted in Arkansas in connection to the murder of Curtis Urquhart back in 2017. In that case, court documents show Warren admitted to arguing with the victim about money before he allegedly pointed the gun at the man and shot him in the head while driving. With investigators writing, he then told them he drove around and found a gravel road and dumped the body in a ditch. Well, as of right now, Warren is not facing any charges in connection to the disappearance or death of Melendez. Her friends tell us they think he did something similar to her and her daughter.
I honestly feel like they're failing my friend, with him letting him being out. He already committed 1 murder, comes to a whole nother state and commits 2 more. And there was a baby. I don't feel like they did enough. There was no Amber Alert.
A whole nother state. Went to a whole nother state.
Out for Layla, there was no nothing. We searched on ourselves. They didn't even find them on their own. A bystander did.
We don't want to leave the family lingering anymore. They want a lot of answers, as do we. But primarily trying to find that piece of information for the family to put the puzzle together for them. But also the longer things go, the worse people's memories get. Things disappear, evidence records over itself, video evidence records over itself. So yeah, we don't want to wait.
Warren has been in custody since last Sunday, facing multiple charges including violation of domestic violence orders in connection to his relationship with Melendez.
I hope that now Clark County can understand that domestic violence, when you say you're going to put somebody on an ankle monitor because someone's life is in danger, you should do it. Because had he got a monitor, they would know. He wouldn't even, I don't think he would have took it as far as he took it.
Friends of Melendez tell me moving forward, they want fast action, accountability, and stricter legislation around domestic violence so that this never happens to anyone again.
Now, shortly before we got on air, Vancouver got back to me confirming there was not an Amber Alert issued in this case. And while they say investigators did consider it, they tell us based on the specific requirements needed for an alert, as well as the information they had at the time, they didn't feel it would be helpful in locating Layla. We're also told that the identities of those two bodies, as well as the cause of death, are likely going to be released sometime next week, and the family is likely going to be holding a vigil this Sunday. So we'll continue to follow this, but for now, live in Portland, I'm Joelle Jones, Quinn 6 News.
Joelle, thank you. We also learned today Layla was a first grade student at Endeavor Elementary School in Vancouver. A letter sent out to parents today offering support. It says, in quote, "Working through our emotions is very difficult in times of crisis and tragedy. Each person deals with news like this in different ways, and we want to support our students now and in the days to come."
They felt like that Amber Alert would not help. Oh man, I don't want to stand there, you know. So hopefully, they would come out and explain a little bit more why they feel like they wouldn't have help or whatnot. This. I'm trying to find a word to say. You know, I mean, this is a motherfucker ridiculous. First of all, it's a motherfucker ridiculous. But that's just an understatement when you just hear the details of this story. And to see that baby face, every time I look at her face, man, that just breaks my heart, man. They really does. A 7-year-old. All right? Now, this about the money thing, I think that's bullshit, too. You know, you shot him while you was a car because the man asked you for some money you didn't want to give to him. You shot somebody that asked for some money. Or if that is true, sound like to me that you may have owed the dude some money and the dude was pressing you about his money, you may have shot him. I don't believe you shot him in the car. I believe you shot him and you put him in the car and try to go ditch his body, you know. But again, you know, you got people like him and everybody who get in trouble, you know, they got to tell a story where it won't sound so bad, try to water it down. Like I always say, people, it's never their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Okay? It is always somebody else's fault. This is why I say a lot of times when it comes to money and friends and shit like that, and that shit don't mix. It don't mix. That's why with me, a lot of times, you get any money out of me, you gonna earn it. You know, because a lot of times, especially you somebody who barely working and you ain't working. If you ain't working, you should never put the word borrow in your vocabulary. Okay? If you ain't working, let me borrow money. Borrow should not be in your vocabulary. You be better off saying, let me have something. Let me borrow something, let me hold something. That should be out of your vocabulary because you're not working. How you going to pay me back if I let you borrow it? Okay? So your best thing to say, hey, let me have $10, let me have $20, this, that, the third. All right? But however, with me, you're going to earn it, $20. Unless I'm real cool with you. Hey, ain't nothing I'm going to miss. I ain't going to get to it. It ain't nothing that I'm going to miss. But in that, though, you know, if somebody that I probably just don't fuck with you like that, man, you going to do something to earn this money. All right? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Again, like I say, whether it's taking out the trash, washing dishes, cleaning my carpet, or do something, you know, you did something to earn this cash. All right? So you ain't working. Don't say, can I borrow shit? Because you can't pay it back. All right? And I'm not finna hunt you down for no $20. All right? I'm not finna hunt nobody down for no $20. Okay? Because if I needed that bad, I mean, there was no point of me giving it to you in the first place. Amen? I mean, if I got to hunt you down for $20, there's no reason for me to give it to you in the first place. All right? So you want $20 from me, you're going to earn it, you know, And bada bing, bada boom, that's your $20. And hey, you did what I asked you to do. We wash our hands with it. Hey, I'll holler at you. I'll holler at you. But yeah, but if you working though, don't ask to borrow nothing. Don't ask to borrow nothing if you ain't nothing monetorial. Did I say that right? Monetorial. I think I said that right. Nothing monetorial if you ain't working. Nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. So this story about that guy he didn't kill, I think that's a crock of shit. You know, I think it's more to it than what they saying that he said. It's way more to it, you know. But again, ladies, please, I want y'all to understand, man, because this is where it comes in, where I say all the time, if people have bad habits, they can only hide it for so long. They can't hide it forever. If they got bad habits, they can only hide it for so long. The bad habit's gonna always show. It might not show in the beginning, but it's gonna always show. And when them bad habits show, I guess it's up to you if you still want to deal with that or not. But if it's too much for you to handle or you don't want to deal with it, don't be ashamed to say that you don't want to deal with it. Because when you start dealing with it, it's going to cause more problems in your life. Amen? It is. I don't think anybody, man or woman, should allow other people to bring drama in their life. Bring their drama in their life. All right? I don't think they should. So if somebody already got luggage, don't be ashamed to say, hey, I'm not ready to deal with all that. You got too much going on with you. Because again, how many times y'all may have a plan or something going, or y'all have a regular routine going, and y'all been doing this regular routine for 10 years. But you let somebody come in, now your routine got thrown off because you let this other person come in, now you got to deal with something extra. Something that you thought maybe you was ready for, but you ain't ready for it. Now it's causing a strange in your personal safe space. Okay? And we all have been through that before because, again, a lot of us like to try to see good in people, but that's a lot of time that's what get us fucked up at right there because we try to see good in people and knowing damn well they not good at all. They just leeches. Or should I say what the old saying goes, they get in where they fit in at. Amen? They get in where they fit in. And if you let them fit in, that's where they're going to get in at because you let them fit in to get in. And here come the dark clouds. I want to check out something real quick. Okay, never mind. Never mind. So as I have an article pulled up here that published on March the 23rd at 6:12 p.m. According to this article that I'm reading, it says the search for a missing mother and her 7-year-old daughter ended in tragedy after their bodies were discovered in rural Washington state, police said. On Wednesday, police in the city of Vancouver discovered what they believe to be the bodies of 27-year-old Meshay Melendez and her 7-year-old daughter, Layla Stewart, based on unique identified genetic marks, police said in the news release. The cause of death is not known, but the Clark County Medical Examiner's Office is working on a report, police said. According to investigators, Layla and Melendez's ex-boyfriend, Kirkland, stayed at the home of an acquaintance on March the 11th and were all seen leaving in a burgundy Dodge Charger on the morning of March the 12th, police said. Warren has been arrested following a search of his home. He was charged with tampering with a witness, violation of domestic violence orders that listed Melendez as a protected person, assault, drive-by shooting, and unlawful possession of a firearm, police said. On March 18th, the authorities conducted a welfare check to Melendez's home in Vancouver, Washington, after her family had not heard from her since March 11th, according to the police. A friend told police that Melendez and her daughter had not been home for a few days and that their dog was inside barking. When officers entered the home, it was empty except for the dog, police said. Investigators learned that on March 11, Melendez, Layla and Melendez and Warren had stayed at the home of the acquaintance. On March 19, police seized Melendez's car after her mother located the vehicle. That same day, police executed a search warrant at Warren's home and took him into custody, police said. The investigation remains going. I'm gonna bring up this one last thing right here, and then that's until further details come out. I'm just gonna leave it at that because it is an ongoing investigation. They still trying to find out what happened, how it was happening, I guess, and let's see, it's gonna pull up. All right, so this right here supposed to be explaining or talk about how an Arkansas murder suspect traveled to Washington to commit another crime, all the way to Washington from Arkansas. That's a long ass trip. But let's see what they talking about, guys, and I'm gonna end it with this right here.
Well, an Arkansas man named a person of interest in the disappearance and death of a Washington state mother and daughter remains behind bars tonight, but this is not the first time he's been in trouble with the law. In fact, he is still facing a murder charge here in Arkansas. THV 11's Ashley Godwin finds out how this man slipped through the cracks of the justice system.
Obviously, it's always a possibility that when the individual out on bond, other crimes could be committed.
27-year-old Kirkland Warren is from Arkansas, but is currently sitting behind bars in Vancouver, Washington, a person of interest in the deaths of a woman and her daughter. According to police reports, Warren was an ex-boyfriend to the woman, facing charges of violating domestic violence protection orders, assault, drive-by shooting, and unlawful possession of a firearm. But this isn't the first time Warren has had a run-in with the law. In 2017, in a recorded confession to Arkansas police, he confessed to shooting Pine Bluff's Curtis Urquhart. He said Urquhart wanted money, and he said no. The report states that Warren said he became fearful of his life, and he shot and killed Urquhart. He then drove to a gravel road near Stuttgart, where he dumped the body in a ditch. Police charged him with first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse, and was later released on bond. But how did Warren slip through the cracks, traveling all the way to Washington state in the meantime? Since his murder charge in 2017, there have been several continuances of his trial, the most recent one being in November of last year. Warren was not required to stay in Arkansas after bonding out of jail, and the judge did not add any requirement for GPS monitoring. Jefferson County Sheriff Lafayette Woods says Warren did not appear to have any red flags that would have alerted authorities that he needed more restrictions to his bail conditions. He had a notable family in the area, wasn't considered a flight risk, and he did not have a criminal history.
What I know about the family, well respected, it does not speak in that time to be an individual that would have been capable of committing such a heinous crime.
Vancouver police have not charged Warren for the deaths of his ex-girlfriend or her daughter.
Wow.
His bond has been
Wow.
revoked in Arkansas. In Little Rock, Ashley Godwin, THV 11 News.
Thanks, Ashley. Now, it's expected that Vancouver police will keep Warren until this investigation is finished. Sheriff Woods tells us it could take a year before Warren can be extradited back to Arkansas to face trial in Arkansas.
Man, did y'all? Yes. That ball was dropped real bad. After hearing that, yeah, that ball was dropped real bad. All them damn continuous. Jesus Christ. All them damn continuous. Then saying that he didn't show no sign of him being in danger and didn't show no sign of being a flight risk. And as soon as y'all drop your guard down, look what happened. Look what happened. Yet again. Yet again. Sarah, I'm with you on that too. I don't know what the hell just happened here. And by the way it's been told, it's almost sound like that they didn't want to deal with him. They just said, fuck it. He paid the money, let him go. We'll deal with him when we deal with him. That's what it sounds like. And he was under no restrictions that he could not leave. Wow. Wow. I'm going to end it with this right here. Ladies and gentlemen, man, look, don't be afraid to do your background checks. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid. And if you get a gut feeling that one of those questions you're asking and they refuse to answer, and you got a gut feeling something ain't right, there's nothing wrong with saying, no, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Because it's all about your safety first. And if you got children, it's all about your children first. Because now y'all seeing it again. When y'all let these, I get it, we all meet new people in our life. We do. We do. And a lot of times, these individuals, you probably going to let them meet your children. But here's the thing. Now, how soon do you let them meet your children? It shouldn't be that soon, you know, unless y'all got something established. And then which that should take some time, too. But you got somebody who you probably just occasionally doing some things with or whatnot, you know, and you don't want them to meet your child. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with that, because you know for yourself that y'all not going to have everything going on that's going to require him or her to meet your child. If y'all just casual dating buddies, I get it. I won't be mad at you at all. Anybody told me that, hey, Chris, I ain't looking for nothing to establish with you, so I don't think it's no reason for you to meet the child. Hey, you know what? I ain't mad at that. Cool. Cool. I know you got one, or you got a couple. Whenever you're ready for me to meet them, I leave it up to you. I leave it up to you. It's all about having safety for not only you, but your babies. You got to stop letting everybody around your babies. There's a point blank period. Point blank period. Point blank period. It was going on double take, point blank period. I don't know if I ever shared this story with y'all, but one of my best friends today, when I first met her, I didn't know she had checked my background, but she did. And when she told me at first, I did get offended. You know, I'm like, why would you do that? You know, I think that's invading my privacy. It's this, third. And she was like, you know, it really is not invading your privacy if it's public information. She said, and secondly, you know, I have had a stalker in my life, and I said ever since then, I'm going to do background checks. I said, you know what? Damn, that's a new way to look at shit. It is. And I asked, I said, okay then, so what did you find? She like, nothing. If I did, I wouldn't be here in front of your face right now. Good. Good. And ever since then, I took heed to what she said. I'm not saying I do it all the time now, so don't get it wrong. I'm not saying I do it all the time, but somebody like her, considering she dealt with a crazy fool at one point in time in her life, she's going to stick with that. Whoever she meets, she's going to do a background check on them. Hey, and I learned to respect that and say, hey, nothing wrong with that. Do your thing. Do all the searching that you need to do. Take your time. Take your time. The family one put 10% on $250,000 for the bond on the murder. Well, Carol, you know I talk about that. You know, I always talk about that. You know, family members don't want to make their family look bad, so they sit up there and bail folks like him out knowing damn well he ain't shit. But they do it anyway. They do it anyway. I've been seeing people on Facebook where they put out a story, and if somebody's a family member to that person, they always coming in and defending it. And talk about free that person. And say, y'all believe the first thing y'all hear. Y'all always believe the first thing y'all hear. Y'all always believe the first thing y'all hear. And which that is a true statement. We do. A lot of us do. But we have a right to believe it because how the story is put out there, you know, who else could it have been? About 90% of the time, it's the person who you sit up there defending talking about free that person. And you already know for yourself that person ain't shit. And you know they good for doing shit that they in jail for, but you say still free them. But anyway, rest in heaven to this lady. Rest in heaven to the young baby. And Curb, you come up with updates before I do, you know how to get them to me. Because I got a feeling it's a lot more to this story. I don't know what the hell, you know, but it's a lot more to this story. It is. It's a hell of a lot more. It's a hell of a lot more. It's like the lady said at the beginning of this show when I did it. Guys, y'all in this situation, please get out. Get to safety. Get out. Please get out. And again, not for you. Do it for your baby. At least get her or him out the situation. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'll talk to y'all later, man.